Japan is an island country, so it's physically and culturally pretty far away from the rest of the world. And as of the end of 2024, only about 17.5% of Japanese have a passport. That means only 1 out of 6 Japanese people can even leave the country. So most Japanese people have never actually seen the world with their own eyes. A lot of people outside Japan don't realize this, but many Japanese really don't know much about the world. And the language barrier is huge. Because Japanese is such a well-developed and self-contained language, there's not much motivation to go out and look for information in English. That means people barely get to experience foreign perspectives firsthand. And I think the image of the world that many Japanese people have is kind of distorted. Like, for a lot of them, foreign countries equal America. So today, I want to talk about common stereotypes Japanese people have about America, and share a few of my thoughts too. First, Americans are super family oriented and always say I love you. This is probably one of the biggest stereotypes Japanese people often think Americans are really expressive with love, always hugging their kids and saying I love you. Of course, it's not just America. People in other Western countries do this too. But Americans definitely have the strongest image of being open with affection. In Japan, parents barely say I love you to their kids, maybe once in a lifetime. And if they did, the kid would probably be like, what the f***?
Asian people, we don't ever say I love you to each other. That's just not our thing. One time I got high and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I just want to tell you, Mom, I love you. And you can hear her start like crying on the other side of the line. She was like, oh, Jimmy, do you have a cancer?
Buying American movies and shows, you always see parents saying things like, you are amazing, or I'm proud of you. It really leaves an impression. That said, the divorce rate in the US is actually pretty high. So clearly, family love isn't that simple. I think it also has to do with the language. English naturally encourages direct expressions like, I love you. Asian families and Western families just show love differently. In Asia, parents support silently. In America, they say out loud. Personally, I think telling your kids you love them helps them grow up more confident. So I wish more Asian parents would do that too. Second, Americans wear shoes inside the house. This one's very common in Japan. A lot of Japanese people imagine Americans walking around their homes in shoes. But actually, about 63% of Americans take their shoes off at home. That's more than most Japanese people expect. What's interesting though is that only 24% ask guests to take off their shoes. So they do it themselves, but they don't ask others to. Very individualistic. In Japan, of course everyone takes off their shoes and guests are expected to as well. Still, I think it's kinda sweet that Americans clean up after their guests instead of asking them to do it. And yeah, most Japanese people don't realize that many Americans do actually take their shoes off at home. So yeah, Japanese people often have some funny or even mistaken ideas about America. But the same goes the other way too. Many people outside Japan have the wrong idea about Japanese people too. If you could actually speak Japanese, you'd understand Japanese culture on a much deeper level. So I want to quickly share a tool that's helped me and I think it will help you as well. It's called italki. Italki is an online language learning platform offering personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers. You can practice Japanese or more than 150 other languages through real-life conversations you can actually use. You can easily find the right teacher for your level, needs, and interests. You can even choose teachers who speak your native languages. And what I really like is that italki teachers create a safe space to start speaking from day one, even if you're a complete beginner. It's also flexible and affordable. You only pay per lesson, and there's no subscription required.
日本語の一番いい勉強の方法とかありますか？
僕の、個人的なものですけど、もちろんその教科書が好きな人がいたら教科書。
はい。
で、語彙について、語彙力を高めていきながら、
はい。
今教科書じゃなくても、正直 AI、チャット GPT とか、文法とか、調べつつ、語彙力とその文法語彙組み合わせてどうやって使っていくか、調べつつ、
人に合わせてみたい。
その通りです。
For even more support, there's italki Plus, an optional premium feature with AI tools. You get lesson summaries and personalized practice and progress tracking to help you improve faster. And you can try it free for the first month. As you can see, practicing with a real native teacher makes a huge difference. So if you'd like to try italki for yourself, click the link below in the description to start your language learning journey. And with my exclusive promo code TERIYAKI, you get a special deal. Buy $10 in credits and get $5 for free for your first lesson. But hurry, it's only available for the first 50 users. I truly believe that italki will transform the way you learn Japanese or any language you want to master. Third, everyone in America owns a gun.
もう周りの人たちが口を揃えて言うのが銃が怖いと。もう銃がとにかく怖いからいけないっていう話はよく聞きますね。
実住んでみて国として
住みやすいです。
住みやすいですか？
はい。周りを気にする必要がないから。
なるほど。苦労した点とかあります？逆にアメリカで住んでて。
毎日苦労しましたよね、それは。今日は後ろから刺されなかったよかったからね。
This one's not really a stereotype. It's kinda true. In Japan, people are like, why don't they just ban guns? But in the US, gun ownership is a constitutional right. For them, guns represent freedom and self-defense. Of course, not everyone agrees with it, and there are a lot of tragic incidents too. So yeah, freedom definitely comes with risk. And honestly, when some Americans show off their guns like cosplay with helmets and camo gear, most Japanese people just can't wrap their hands around that. First, Americans take lots of vacation days. Japanese people often imagine that Americans never work overtime and take lots of vacation. But that's not really true.
I'm an American. I pay $1,600 for a flat that has no bedroom. That's 2/3 of my income. I'm an American. I work 50 hours a week. I don't have health insurance. I'm an American. I couldn't afford to have a child even if I wanted to. I'm $7,000 in debt. I'm an American. My health is declining because I can't afford Whole Foods because that's too expensive for my life. I am very overqualified for my job, but no one else is hiring. I'm an American. I make my boss hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, while I can barely keep myself alive. I'm an American. I have never been out of the States. I have never been on a vacation. I'm an American. I make 20-some dollars an hour. A livable wage here is like 30-some. Yet I don't qualify for government assistance whatsoever. On the days I don't work, I'm so tired I just sleep all day. I'm an American. My electric bill is so expensive I sit outside in the heat because I can't afford to turn the AC on in the damn house. I'm an American, and I fear I'm just an average American. I'm living the American dream.
A lot of Japanese people mix up America and Europe. They imagine Europe's work-life balance and apply it to the US. But America's actually pretty intense. It's easy to get fired, so not working can be risky. Even though paid vacation exists, most people don't use all of it. And since healthcare is expensive, many people work even when they're sick. So it's not really a chill work culture. It's more like perform or get replaced. Freedom comes with pressure. In that sense, America's just as tough to work in as Japan, just in a different way. Fifth, Americans only eat burgers, pizza, and fries. This stereotypes everywhere. For many Japanese people, Americans' food means burgers, pizza, fries, and hot dogs. I don't think most Japanese people actually believe that all Americans are fat or anything, but they definitely think that food is unhealthy. To be fair, that's not totally wrong, but these days there are tons of vegans and organic food lovers, and health conscious people in the US too. Still, portion sizes are huge, and everything's high in calories and super salty. In LA, it feels like eating salad is almost a status symbol. And eating healthy in America is expensive though. Honestly, I think most Americans will lose weight if they live in Japan. Sixth, Texas equal cowboys. This one's funny. Many Japanese imagine Texas as a desert full of cowboys riding horses through dust storms. It's like how foreigners think they're still ninjas in Japan. In reality, cities like Austin and Dallas are super modern. Tech companies like Apple and Tesla are there now. And of course, Texas is huge, so there's still rural area and real cowboys. But the stereotype is kinda half true and half outdated. If you're from Texas, let me know in the comments, do real cowboys still exist? Seventh, Americans wear shorts all year. This one cracks me up. A lot of Japanese think Americans wear t-shirts and shorts, even in winter. Honestly, I can kind of see it, especially in rural areas. But in cities like New York, obviously not. I also feel like in the US, there's still this idea that guys have to be tough or else they will be seen as less manly. So maybe that's part of why people wear shorts all year. Eighth, Americans have home parties every night. This image totally comes from shows like Gossip Girl. Japanese people think Americans are always throwing parties at home. Of course that's not true, but the image is strong because Japan doesn't really have that culture. Japanese houses are smaller and people take off shoes indoors, and relationships with neighbors are usually more private. So yeah, home parties just aren't a thing here. If you live in America, I'd love to know how often do you actually throw home parties? Ninth, America equal land of chivalry. Japanese people often think all American men are gentlemen, opening doors, pulling out chairs, that kind of thing. But even in the US, it's more of a formal gesture now, not something every guy does. Still, I think those little acts of kindness are really nice. In Japan, people are super polite, but no one holds the door open for strangers. I wish we did that more. 10th, everyone in America has tattoos. Another big stereotype. Yes, tattoos in the US are way more common compared to Japan, but even in the US, some parents hate it. Having tattoos may also affect job opportunities. That surprised me. I used to think tattoos in the US were not a big deal. In Japan, tattoos are still linked to the Yakuza, so they have this bad image. Now it's changing but still exists. But in the US, it's seen more as a fashion or self-expression. That difference is pretty interesting. 11th, America equal land of freedom.
どういうイメージ抱きますか？
結構自由な国、自分のしたいことを表現できる国かな。
For Japanese people, America represents freedom. Movies, music, and pop culture all send a message: be yourself, chase your dreams, speak your mind. Since Japan values harmony and group thinking, many people admire the bold, confident attitude, though some also find it a bit too much. So yeah, freedom is admired, but also seen as a little exhausting. 12th, respect and admiration. After World War II, under DHQ occupation, Japan was strongly influenced by the US. So for a long time, America was seen as something to admire. Hollywood, Disney, the economy, all of that shaped Japan's image of America. But now, thanks to YouTube and TikTok, people see the real America. High prices, healthcare problems, drugs, and social issues. So the blind admiration is fading, and people see America more realistically now, and it's not the dreamland anymore. It's just another country with its own struggle. So yeah, Japanese people definitely have some funny or outdated stereotypes about America. But honestly, learning about these differences is kind of fun, right? If this video gave you a new perspective on how Japanese people actually see Americans, then I'm really happy. I'm Teriyaki. I'm also doing Japanese podcasts and vlogs. So please like this video and subscribe for more.